Hello, I'm Randy Romig, and I have the privilege of being the organist of the Georgia Festival Chorus. And today I have a double privilege because I get to tell you about the story behind one of my favorite hymns, and I'll bet it's one of your favorites as well. It Is Well With My Soul. It's a hymn that was born in adversity and nurtured in faithfulness. The poet who wrote the words for the hymn was a man named Horatio Spafford. Now, Horatio Spafford was, in the second half of the 19th century, a very prominent attorney, developer, landowner in Chicago. Everything was going his way. His business was thriving. He had a wife and 4 daughters, and then, the apple of his eye, a 4-year-old son. Then, adversity struck in 1871 with the Great Chicago Fire. Spafford's business was ruined. And to top it off, his 4-year-old son died of scarlet fever. But he wasn't out. He might have been down, but he persevered and rebuilt his business, and in the same time provided housing for many of the 100,000 people in Chicago who had lost their homes because of the fire. He decided to send his wife and 4 daughters to Europe, and he was going to accompany them to Europe. And then at the last minute, he had to make a change because of a business situation, so he said he would rejoin them in Europe shortly thereafter. His wife and the 4 daughters sailed on the Ville, Havre, a luxury liner from France. Unfortunately, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, it struck a steel trawler and sank very quickly. All of Spafford's daughters were drowned. He wired his wife to say that he would rejoin her very quickly, and as he was sailing across the Atlantic to join his wife, the captain of the ship said, "This is the approximate place where the Ville Havre went down and where your daughters perished." He went to his cabin, could not sleep, and all night long coming to him were the words, "It is well, it is well, it is well." Shortly thereafter, he wrote the entire poem that we now know as the text of "It Is Well With My Soul." Again, it's a hymn that was born in adversity, but nurtured in faithfulness. The man who wrote the tune that we sing when we sing this hymn was Philip Bliss. Shortly after he wrote this melody, he and his wife were in a train wreck in Ohio, and both of them were killed as well. The title for the tune that we sing is Ville Havre. Bliss named it after the ship that sank and took with it the lives of Spafford's daughters. If there ever was a hymn born in adversity but nurtured in faithfulness, this is it. It is well with my soul.
A primary mission of the Georgia Festival Chorus is the preservation and promotion of sacred and gospel music. Our chorus of 100 singers, its conductors, and its accompanists prepare our programs diligently and rehearse with vigor to further this mission. As is true with all missions, energy, talent, and dedication are critical. However, there is also always the need for financial support. If and when you are able, please consider sending a contribution to help defray the expenses associated with our mission. As the GFC transforms itself to a virtual and digital presence, as well as continuing to offer live choral concerts, your fiscal support is critical. Further, during this season, we are pleased to announce that we have been offered matching funds from several sources. So every dollar you share with us will be matched by these generous donors. Please give as you are able.